Alright, here we go. Starting now.
Alright, we're doing Jonah and the whale. He had every right to run, he thought. Why should he go to that stinking city? He hated the place. Why should he warn the Ninevites about God's judgment? After how they had treated his people, they deserved to be wiped out. The last thing Jonah wanted was for his enemies to receive God's blessing. So he ran as fast and as far as he could away from what God wanted him to do. But God had different. You know the story. God stood up a storm, and Jonah sailed down to the boat and ended up in the belly of the fish. God gave Jonah
Come on, guys.
time to get over his actions and attitudes. The first time Jonah didn't complain, he prayed. Probably the only time anyone ever prayed for a fish first. The prayer was answered and Jonah eventually traveled to Nineveh. He preached to the people there, though his odor wasn't appealing. His message was, and the Ninevites repented. God relented as Jonah knew he would. And Jonah, furious over the turn of events, he thought, we can be so difficult, but God can be so patient. The book of Jonah is more fascinating than the account of one man's futile attempt to run away from God. And the story of God's love for even the most unlovable, despicable people we can imagine, and of our responsibility to tell them the good news.
Right now.
Jesus walks on water.
Alright.
Immediately, Jesus told his followers to get into the boat and go ahead of him across the lake.
Get on the boat.
He stayed there to send the people home. After he had sent them away, he went by himself up into the hills to pray. It was late, and Jesus was there alone. By this time, the boat was already far away from land. It was being hit by waves, but the wind was blowing against it. Between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came to them walking on the water. When his followers saw him walking on the water, they were afraid. They said, "It's a ghost."
It's a ghost.
They cried out in fear. But Jesus quickly spoke to them. "Have courage, it is I, do not be afraid."
Have courage, it is I, do not have afraid.
Peter said, "Lord, if it is really you, you command me to come to you on the water."
Get over here.
Jesus said, "Come."
Come! Get over here.
And Peter left the boat and walked on the water to Jesus. But when Peter saw the wind waves, he became afraid and began to sink. He shouted, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught Peter. Jesus said, "Your faith is small, why did you doubt?"
Your faith is small, why did you doubt?
After they got into the boat, the wind became calm. Then those who were in the boat worshipped Jesus and said, "Truly you are the Son of God."
Truly you are the Son of God.
Okay.